You felt it, the drain, the disconnect, the nagging sense that you're there, but not really there. The words come and go, but you're somewhere else, lost in the noise, losing touch with who you truly are. It's like watching your life unfold from the sidelines. The harder you try to stay present, the more distant you feel. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be this way. You can take control of your presence in every conversation, every moment. What if the next time you speak, you could reclaim your energy and fully own the space you're in? What if you stopped letting the chaos drown out the real you? Today, let's change that. In his book, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle emphasizes that true presence is about being fully engaged in the moment, not lost in the past or future. He writes, "Realize deeply that the present moment is all you have. Make the now the primary focus of your life." This practice of staying present can transform your life, especially in conversations. Today, we're diving into the practice of self-remembering. This isn't just about listening better or speaking more clearly. It's about staying connected to yourself in every exchange, no matter how chaotic. Imagine showing up in every conversation, owning your presence, and feeling more grounded than ever before. You'll discover how to break free from the noise, so you can finally have deeper, more fulfilling interactions that reflect the real you. If you're truly committed to your personal growth, now's the perfect moment to take action. Subscribe to our channel Motivation Basics and like this video if you're committed to improve every day. Don't keep this to yourself and share it with someone who's ready to break through their own barriers today. Let's stop talking and start doing this together. The exciting part is that your body and energies become increasingly apparent as you practice self-remembering. When you find yourself in the middle of an argument, remember to monitor your body language. Do you feel dispersed? Is your mind constantly buzzing? On the other hand, are you tranquil, stable, and totally engaged with the one standing before you? Keeping your cool and not getting carried away by the deluge of words is possible when you tune into your bodily present. To remain grounded, it is crucial to tune into the subtle energy field surrounding you. As Eckhart Tolle puts it in A New Earth, you are not the voice in your mind, but the one who is aware of it. This energetic awareness is described by Tolle. When you tune into the energy field surrounding you, your presence enables you to detach from the critical, judgmental, and distracting inner voice. Through consistent practice, you will develop the ability to identify when your attention is being diverted by outside forces, allowing you to reclaim command of your present moment. It gets easier to handle difficult conversations the more you practice this, whether that's through breathing exercises, being fully present, or connecting with your body's energy. The more you center your attention on being present, the stronger and more stable you will feel in any situation, whether it's a challenging family gathering, a stressful work meeting, or a friendly chat. And the best part is, as time goes on, you'll realize that even the most difficult talks can lead to new insights and stronger bonds. Here is the challenge. You will see a dramatic improvement in your communication skills as you keep practicing self-remembering. You will gain the skills to handle difficult conversations with poise, wisdom, and compassion. You'll learn to be more than a bystander in conversations. You'll immerse yourself in them, listen attentively, and articulate your thoughts clearly. If you want your interactions to grow deeper, more genuine, and more satisfying, try making self-remembering a daily practice. The background noise will no longer be an issue for you. Instead, you will always be authentic and show up as yourself. The significance of being fully present in the here and now is emphasized by Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now. Whatever you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world. This idea is in line with remembering oneself. When one gives one's genuine presence in a conversation, they stop hiding who they really are. You're no longer emotionally distant, mentally disoriented, or unable to function. On the contrary, you take part in the process of developing meaningful relationships with people around you. How well do you remember things to bring up when you speak? Accordingly, The self here is the presence-based self, not the egoic self. Do you recall our previous presence here? When I say remember, I don't mean a passing thought. Usually when people say that, they mean anything specific that you mention, but this is a lot more thorough recollection. Avoid losing yourself in the language by focusing on remembering and comprehending who you are. Is everything else gone save the words? They stand out from the multitude of text, ensuring that you won't be overwhelmed. It takes practice to become a successful communicator, so make the most of every opportunity. Get good at keeping your identity in mind so you can grab opportunities when they arise. Words can captivate you for a while, but you might be able to pull yourself away from them at some point. When this happens to people, it's fascinating to see how they express themselves with such intensity and clarity. Sometimes people allow themselves get totally absorbed in that train of thought, which might cause them to feel bad. On a spiritual level, they are clueless. Certain idioms can still cause some people who are only now beginning to awaken to lose track of time. A memory pops into their head among all this chatter, perhaps immediately following an event, or much better, as it is unfolding. Realizing you've lost all sense of reality in your arguments is comparable to that feeling. The instant you realize it's gone, the presence is still there, even though it doesn't seem to be. There isn't a surefire way to do this. Instead, it requires the more natural process of progressively losing one's self-awareness over shorter and shorter intervals. In relation to releasing mental distractions, Tolle discusses the importance of being fully present. The more you are focused on the past or the future, the more you are disconnected from the present moment, and the more you are disconnected from the present moment, and the more you are in the grip of the mind's distractions. In discussions, this can be quite useful. If you aren't paying attention in the here and now, your thoughts will wander, and you won't be able to engage in the conversation or form the meaningful connection you could be having. I have some advice that can assist you in being more authentic when interacting with other people. When you're talking to an individual or a small group, there will be moments when you have to take the lead, and other times when others will. As they talk, you pay close attention. When you listen, you can forget about everything else and just be in the moment. Involuntary mental debate or argumentation while listening is a sign of not paying attention. You have the answers in your head even as they speak. As a spiritual practice, focus intently on the speaker throughout any discourse. Return to the present moment by focusing your full attention on the speaker. To listen attentively, one must be in the same room as the other person. True listening involves more than just hearing what someone says. It also requires being physically present. If you listen carefully enough, you might be able to sense the speaker's physical presence in addition to their voice. Even though this contradicts everything of your views and thoughts, there is an indivisible force at work here. Listening is the key to awareness. Tolle emphasizes in the power of now. Listening with an open mind and without preconceived notions is a contemplative practice. Listening attentively transforms a dialogue into an intimate encounter rather than just a series of words being exchanged. Then, instead of reacting emotionally, you can respond with genuine understanding and connection. Remember to turn to the other person when you finish speaking to give them a chance to finish what they started. This has the potential to elevate your viewpoint by altering the entire tone of the discussion. When everything else fails, just sit quietly and your next words will flow. In a group setting, it is courteous to keep quiet and listen carefully when other people are speaking. Then, when your turn to speak arrives, have your thoughts prepared and ready to articulate. When you say anything while you're relaxed and focused, it has more impact. If it's a discussion, you might be able to add something substantial rather than merely stating your opinions. Everything is altered by this. If you find that your thoughts wander after you speak, taking a moment to breathe and focus on the other person while they speak can be a good strategy. There will be an end to arguments over who is right and wrong once that happens. Without letting ego get in the way, You may have a rational conversation with someone who has radically different opinions. It is entirely possible to hold an opinion without letting it affect you emotionally. There is a significant disparity. Regardless of their personal beliefs or political leanings, a Republican and a Democrat, for instance, are capable of having a rational conversation. Everybody else is merely a person, not a political faction. No matter how strongly you disagree, keep in mind that people's views remain just that. Just as you can distinguish between your own identity and your opinions, you will also be able to distinguish between other people's opinions and their actual self. Their perspective does not define them, regardless of how warped or irrational it may be. The nature of the engagement has changed significantly as a result. Despite your continued animosity, you and the other person are no longer at war. You see, that is just a pattern. During heated debates or group discussions, some people find that physically controlling their body language helps them maintain their composure and control the explosion of words that could otherwise escape their lips. Be mindful of the subtle energy field that envelops the body. My term, inner body awareness, is probably already familiar to most of you. It refers to the capacity to detect one's own energy field. Take a few moments to focus on the life-giving energy that is already within you. That way, you won't be caught off guard by the seemingly infinite flow of words. Particularly in trying times, it may be good to speak from a place of stability. Direct relatives, those with whom you share a past, and even those with whom you share a Thanksgiving meal, are all examples of the kinds of relationships that most people may imagine as potentially challenging. Space in which thought happens is you, says Eckhart Tolle. The individual thinking is the ego, the narcissistic mind that considers itself autonomous from the universe. The witness to the mind is you, the awareness, the consciousness. By honing this kind of self-awareness, you can silence your racing thoughts and get in touch with your essential self, the place of calm where genuine connection can take place. Another possible factor is the inflated sense of self-importance at your workplace. In any circumstance, but especially when you're prepared to face a difficult situation, it could be good to pay attention to your body's energy field. Pay attention to your breathing as a complementary or replacement activity. Listening attentively goes well with this. A simple yet powerful way to enhance self-awareness is to be aware of one's breath, both in and out. They complement one another in many respects. So, bring your focus back to your breathing as you listen. Here are a few small things you can do if you can't just step aside. You will learn to handle challenging conversations with grace and poise as you gain experience. Surrendering to the present moment will ensure that you won't experience prolonged disorientation. No matter how difficult they may be, the vast majority of human encounters offer opportunities to practice presence. Now that we've covered the basics of self-remembering, it's easy to see how this powerful technique may improve your relationships with others and spark deeper, more satisfying dialogues. Being fully engaged in a conversation improves your ability to communicate and helps you connect with people on a deeper level. Keeping your cool while listening is as simple as paying attention to your breathing. By doing this, you can avoid becoming lost in the language. By incorporating this into your daily practice, you can enhance your communication skills and learn to handle difficult conversations with grace and understanding. Stop wasting time and make every moment count in your life. Subscribe to Motivation Basics for daily motivational videos on personal growth. Show your commitment by liking the video and commenting the word GROW. Be sure to share it with someone who needs to slow down in life. We're in this together.